And already, lawmakers began filing hundreds of bills today ahead of the next session, and some of that proposed legislation includes further restrictions on the state's transgender community. One would ban athletes at the college level from competing in sports matching their gender identity, while another would officially deem treatments for trans children as child abuse. Here to talk about expectations for what's ahead is Ash Hall. They are a Texas legislative consultant and a trans activist. Ash, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we did mention a couple of those bills just a few moments ago, but what is your reaction to seeing the legislation that is coming down the pipeline so far?
Personally, quite a feeling of dread. I know last session we had more than 70 bills that were aimed at the LGBTQ plus community with a particular focus on transgender individuals. Now it's day one, and I think we're already coming up on about 10 of these, and it's uh, it's not day over for bills that will be filed. And it's, of course, just day one out of quite a few. And so I'm already nervous for how many hearings we're going to have where trans children and adults like myself will be subjected to hateful language, to treatment that acts as though we are uh, mentally ill or not even human.
And Ash, we reported about how previous laws passed led some families to leave the state or consider moving from Texas. What impact is that going to have on your activism for this session?
Well, it means that a lot of the families that I have gotten to be side by side with each session will not physically be there with me. So it's on me and other members of our community to find other folks who are now interested in picking up their torches and coming to the Capitol and speaking out. I don't know if that will mean more families will decide that they would like to be visible because it's a dangerous time for them to be visible, or if it's going to be time for us to lean more on our non-transgender slash cisgender allies. But it does mean that there's a little bit less experience going into this session and that there's going to be something of a learning curve for the new folks that we bring in.
And going back to 2017, when we saw the bathroom bill fail to become law, you predicted that legislation focusing on the trans community would just keep emerging. We've definitely seen that now. So is the strategy for fighting for this type of legislation the same as back then, or how has it changed at all?
That's a good question. Some of the strategies are exactly the same, in particular, bringing in the parents and the families and the loving communities of transgender minors in particular, and having them speak to the fact that the average Texan is not actually interested in attacking transgender children and wants to support those children. That's always going to be a big part of the strategy because the loudest voices in this battle are not necessarily the ones that are correct or compassionate. And so it will always be up to us to bring in community members to prove that the average Texan is on the side of trans kids. The pieces that are slightly different now is back in 2017, it was really the lieutenant governor who had huge buy-in to attacking trans kids. Now the governor is going to have more and more reasons to target us, and so I predict that we're going to have to also aim some of our legislative actions at him in terms of letter writing, trying to schedule visits, things like that. Because my prediction is that he will want to gain some wins for himself as a conservative so that he has a better shot at running for president.
You spoke about this just a few moments ago, but what approach do you plan to take now with Republicans remaining in control in both chambers in the Texas legislature and through statewide offices writ large?
It didn't change a whole lot in terms of strategy because I believe in each chamber they only gained one more member. And so, as usual, the strategy will have to be that I primarily rely on Democratic colleagues to do a lot of the fighting on our behalf within the House and Senate chambers, while quietly talking to more moderate Republicans who feel that these issues don't belong in the Capitol and hoping that they'll be able to help us slow down some of these bills or help us kill them altogether.
Ash Hall, we could talk about so much more, but we'll leave it there for this afternoon. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.